From the ancient seabeds of Germany to the forests of Madagascar and the warm summer nights of Europe, all across Earth, it seems that ghosts of form are being reborn. Creatures that share no ancestry and are separated by millions of years somehow end up with the same faces, the same movements, the same survival strategies. It's as if nature itself forgot it had already done this before, quietly copying and pasting its own designs. Why does nature keep reinventing the same shapes and lifestyles? From ocean to jungle, from reptiles to mammals, from insects to birds, from hedgehogs to tenrecs, from squirrels to sugar gliders? Join us as we travel through the places where evolution loops back on itself, repeating, mirroring, and sometimes outright plagiarizing its own work. To answer a question that sounds simple but hides a deep mystery: why does nature keep making the same animals? Part 1. The Mirror Sea, Ichthyosaurs and Dolphins. The Posidonia Formation took shape in the early Jurassic period, around 183 million years ago, when this region lay beneath the warm waters of a shallow sea. As early as the 19th century, strange skeletons began to appear in the rock, and by the latter half of that century, as industrial mining surged, an entire fossil ocean emerged from the stone. Thousands of specimens were brought to light, and what they revealed forced scientists to rethink the very rules of evolution. Because within the rock, they didn't find fish, they found marine reptiles, dead for more than 100 million years, that looked exactly like dolphins. Not somewhat similar, not vaguely reminiscent, but almost identical. These creatures were ichthyosaurs, fish lizards. Their bodies were sleek and smooth, swelling near the front and tapering into a crescent-shaped tail, the perfect design for slicing through water at high speed. And by coincidence, or perhaps by nature's efficiency, that is exactly the same body plan dolphins possess today. Some species of ichthyosaurs could reach speeds of up to 25 miles per hour, comparable to modern dolphins. To achieve that, they needed a flawless framework, a rigid torso for efficient force transfer, paddle-like flippers for steering, and a powerful tail to propel them forward. Every detail matched. Even their skin color was the same, dark on top, pale underneath, a camouflage tactic known as countershading, used to avoid detection from both above and below. If you were to resurrect an ichthyosaur and show it to an ordinary person, they'd almost certainly say, "Oh, an ancient dolphin?" But here's the twist. Ichthyosaurs were reptiles, while dolphins are mammals. They're more different from each other than you are from a turtle. Both breathe air through lungs, but ichthyosaurs had been doing so since the Triassic period, over 250 million years ago, when their ancestors first left the land to live permanently in the sea. They gave birth in water, and mother-infant fossils show the young emerging tail first to avoid drowning, exactly like modern whales and dolphins. Yet, ichthyosaurs went extinct about 90 million years ago, and for the next 40 million years, the oceans were empty of anything like them, until the mammals decided to return to the water. And then, something extraordinary happened. Nature rebuilt the same creature, only with different materials. The earliest ancestors of dolphins, creatures like Pachycetus and Ambulocetus, looked nothing like dolphins at all. The first resembled a wolf obsessed with fish. The second, a furry crocodile. But over millions of generations, as life in the sea became their destiny, their bodies transformed. Legs turned into flippers, nostrils slid to the top of the head, and the tail became a wave-driving engine. When true dolphins finally appeared during the Eocene epoch, the resurrection was complete. Nature had recreated the ichthyosaur, but this time, out of a warm-blooded mammal. So why did evolution copy and paste the same design? Separated by tens of millions of years and drawn from two entirely different bloodlines? The answer lies in one of nature's strangest, yet most logical, habits: convergent evolution. Simply put, when natural selection is faced with the same problem, it often arrives at the same solution, no matter what materials it's working with. It sounds contradictory, doesn't it? We tend to think of evolution as random. Paleontologist Stephen Jay Gould once said, "If you replay the tape of life, you'll get a completely different world." Part 2. The hummingbird hawkmoth. When an insect becomes a bird, if you're lucky, you might see something that looks exactly like a hummingbird sipping nectar. It hovers mid-air, wings buzzing so fast they blur into smoke. But if you're in Europe or Asia, congratulations. It can't possibly be a hummingbird. What you're seeing is a hummingbird hawkmoth, Macroglossum stellatarum. Barely 1.5 inches long, it beats its wings up to 85 times per second, producing the signature whirring sound. Its long, coiled proboscis works like a straw and looks just like a bird's beak, letting it drink nectar from the same narrow tubular flowers that real hummingbirds love. Even its metabolism follows the same script. During flight, its thoracic temperature can exceed 113 degrees Celsius, the upper limit for insect muscle function, meaning it's running at the same kind of biological overdrive as an actual hummingbird. What's fascinating is, it doesn't just look like a hummingbird, it also sees like one. Its eyes are equipped with a trichromatic visual system, 3 color receptors, allowing it to distinguish hues even better than honeybees. It selects flowers based on color and is most active at midday, precisely when nectar levels peak. In other words, it has learned to live like a hummingbird, without ever having met one. But when you look closer inside, everything is completely different. A hummingbird's wing muscles attach directly to the bones, contracting to generate each beat. In contrast, the moth's flight muscles are anchored to the thorax, causing its entire chest to flex and deform 85 times per second, as if the whole body itself were breathing through the wings. Hummingbirds use a forked tongue to draw nectar. The moth uses a hollow proboscis, pumping nectar through pressure, like a biological trumpet. Same result, entirely different mechanisms. And sometimes, convergent evolution goes even further, shaping not just the body, but the behavior until everything meets at the same point. On the island of Madagascar, nearly the size of Texas, separated from Africa 160 million years ago and lying 250 miles off the mainland, a group of small animals somehow crossed the ocean and settled there. Over millions of years of isolation, nature began writing the same survival formula all over again. In Madagascar's forests, you might spot a small, spiny creature that curls into a ball when threatened. Everyone would exclaim, "A hedgehog!" But they'd be completely wrong. It's the greater hedgehog tenrec, setosis, a species found only in Madagascar. About 9 inches long, it feeds on insects, hunts at night, and rolls itself into a spiky ball when in danger, so convincingly hedgehog-like that it once fooled naturalists. But genetically, the two are separated by more than 100 million years of evolution. Tenrecs belong to the Afrotheria group, distant relatives of elephants, pangolins, and manatees. True hedgehogs, on the other hand, are part of Laurasiatheria, alongside moles, weasels, and bats. And yet, both arrived at the same solution. When you're too small to scare anyone, become a ball of spikes. Nature doesn't copy out of laziness. It does so out of efficiency. When environments pose the same challenges, speed in water, evasion on land, nectar in midair, evolution reuses the designs that already worked. It doesn't care who did it first, only what works best. And so, over hundreds of millions of years, Earth has become a vast laboratory where successful ideas are reborn, not through memory, but through nature itself. From ichthyosaurs to dolphins, from hummingbirds to moths, from hedgehogs to tenrecs. The story is always the same. Life endlessly repeats itself, just to prove that perfect designs never go out of style. Part 3. The island of Madagascar, tenrecs, and the survival formula. Nature's survival strategies are sometimes surprisingly simple. Don't want to get eaten? Turn yourself into a ball of spikes. But the details are where the paths begin to diverge. A hedgehog's spines are hollow hairs made of keratin, while the tenrec's spines are solid. Same material, different design. Hedgehogs have 36 teeth in a fixed pattern. Tenrec's teeth are arranged completely differently. And their reproductive anatomy? Well, that's where things get truly strange. Female tenrecs have a cloaca, a single opening for excretion, digestion, and reproduction, exactly like birds and reptiles, preserving an ancestral feature that most mammals abandoned long ago. And it gets even crazier. Tenrec isn't one species or even one genus. It's an entire family, Tenrecidae. Because Madagascar has no native rodents, cats, or many of the other mainland mammal groups, tenrecs evolved to fill every vacant niche. Some look like shrews, some like otters, others like voles, as if evolution was handed a single mammalian prototype and told, rebuild the whole ecosystem from this. But some evolutionary challenges transcend continents. In the forest, one timeless problem remains. Trees are tall, and the ground is deadly. For small animals, climbing down and then up another tree is practically signing their own death warrant. So, how do you cross safely, without becoming someone else's lunch? Across 4 continents, evolution came up with the same answer. The ground is lava, baby, so glide. Part 4. Gliders, diggers, and crab people, the rulebook of life. In the forest, there's an eternal problem. Trees are tall, and the ground is full of danger. For small mammals, climbing down and then up another tree is practically suicide. So, across 4 continents, evolution arrived at the same ingenious solution. The ground is lava, so fly over it. In Australia, the sugar glider weighs barely 4 ounces, but has a flap of skin stretching from wrist to ankle, turning its body into a biological glider. With a single leap, it can sail over 160 feet and land precisely on a tree trunk. In North America, flying squirrels evolved the same setup, gliding up to 300 feet, twisting their tails mid-air to perform a controlled 4-point landing that would make any pilot proud. In Southeast Asia, the colugo, or flying lemur, takes it even further. Nearly 2 feet long, about the weight of a kitten with a membrane stretching from neck to tail, it can glide more than 330 feet, while losing only about 30 feet of height. And in Africa, the scaly-tailed squirrel has upgraded the design with tiny claws on its tail that anchor into bark upon landing. But not every creature looked to the sky. Some took the opposite path, downward. Underground, there's no light, little oxygen, and only one body plan truly works: the mole. Europe and America have true moles, talpa, Africa has golden moles, and Australia has marsupial moles. 3 evolutionary lineages separated by over 160 million years. Yet they look like triplets: cylindrical bodies, no necks, tiny eyes, no external ears, massive digging claws, bidirectional fur, and blood adapted to low oxygen. Still, each has its quirks. The European mole evolved a 6th finger. The golden mole sports huge ear bones to detect underground vibrations. And the Australian marsupial mole swims through sand, which collapses neatly behind it, leaving no trace at all. Evolution may be creative, but only within the limits set by physics, chemistry, and ecology. So, whether in forests underground or in the depths of the sea, whenever life faces the same problem, it will always find the same solution. From the gliding membranes that drift between forest canopies, to the armored claws crashing through ocean waves, to the digging hands carving tunnels in darkness, every creature is playing the same symphony. Different instruments, same rhythm. Efficiency is the ultimate truth of nature. And if one day life begins anew on some distant planet, what do you think? Out there among the stars, might there also be a creature that glides like a sugar glider, digs like a mole, or scuttles sideways like a crab? If you enjoy journeys that decode the mysteries of evolution, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss the next video, where we'll continue uncovering the greatest secrets of life and the many times nature has copy-pasted itself.